homework time. Here we go for another run at the homework time with lesson 18. Let's start in the usual fashion. Jot your name down. Yeah, it's important to put your name on your work. So, school setting, get proper credit. I'll put my name. Don't copy my name. You're not me. Unless you are. Weird. Okay, and for the date, you actually write the date. I'm going to write today. Take a second and write the date. All right, and the instructions are the same as we had for lesson 17. Again, we have word problems. We're going to draw a tape diagram, solve it with numbers, and write our answer as a statement. All right, and so let's read number 1. There were 22,869 children, 49,563 men, and 2,872 more women than men at the fair. How many people were at the fair in all? We're being asked. So we have children, we have men, we have women, and we will draw 3 separate tapes because, again, this is comparison. We're comparing the women to the men specifically. So we're going to draw separate tapes. The children one, we can see, will be the shortest one, right? So the men is more and the women is more than the men. So children I won't make overly long because the other ones have to be longer. So it's 22,869 children. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of kids. All right, now let's go to the men. They were so diligent in counting people by their age and gender and yet failed to get a total. All right, it probably should be a little longer to be truly representative. I'm going to run out of space if I do. So, all right. So men were told straight out. No guesswork there. 49,563 men. And then for women, here's what we're told. We know there's as many as men, and then an additional here. So let me actually make this tape, close it off here, the same as the men. See, so they're the same. They align there. If I could even make a little dotted line if I want to show that they're the same. But now we know that there's an additional amount of women, which we are told it's 2,872. Now, what are we being asked? We are being asked for the grand total of all human beings at the fair. We are not including cows and pigs, assuming it's that kind of fair. We want everyone. How many people were at the fair? Okay, so that's what we're really trying to solve for. Now, we know this one, which I've filled out, we know how much it is, right? It's the same as the men, because it's the men plus the 2,872 more. So I can jot down in here the value of that part of the tape. And now it's very easy to see that I can put these two together to get the number of women, and then put all 3, children, men, women, together to get a grand total. So let us do that. So first we're going to start with the women. We know that there are 49,563 men, and the women outnumber them by 2,872. So putting these together will give us the total amount for the women. So we're adding here, nice and easy. 3 and 2 make 5. 6 plus 7? 13. Regroup that 1. 1 plus 5 plus 8. Okay, 14. Regroup that 1. You see a pattern here. Make 10. 2 more is 12. Drop that comma. And then 1 and 4 make 5. And yes, does that make sense? Yeah, that looks about, there's about 3,000. 3,000 more than 49 is 52. Looks good. And so I might have more room at the bottom here to draw a little bracket, just to make sure I specify here that this is the total number of women, 52,435. Okay, now if we put all three together, we'll have the total number of human beings at the fair. And oh, what a fair it was. I like to write the largest number on top. It just makes me feel good in my heart. Makes it seem more balanced. You don't have to, because addition is commutative, but that's what looks good to me. So that's the women, the total we just found. Here's the men. We were given that, and we were also given the number of children. And this is some serious addition, yo. You could do this out in 2 steps as well. We'll do it in 1, though. Okay, so let's take this in a sensible way. Look for patterns. Okay, 5 and 3 are 8. 8 and 9. It's 17. Regroup that 1. And now I see the 1 and 3 make 4. With 6 is 10. 6 more than 10 is 16. Good. Regroup that 1. And here again I see 5 and 5 are 10. With 8 more is 18. And now here I'll go out of order because I see 1 and 9 make 10. 2 and 2 are 4. 10 and 4. 14. Group the 1 and drop that comma. And here again I see the 1 and 4 make 5. With 5 is 10. 2 more than 10 is 12. Excellent. So that's how many people were at the fair, and we will write us a beauteous little statement. There were 124,867 people at the happy little fair. Okay. Excellent. Well, we got number 1 done. Let's not stop this train. Roll on, roll on, roll on to number 2. Number 2 is a good one. It gets your brain going. It reminds me, though, of the one from 17, where we lesson 17 homework, where we had container A and container B. Now they're just like getting dirt cheap with us, economy style mathematics here. We have number A, number B, and number C. That's what we're dealing with here. All right, so let's see what we have to figure out this little mystery puzzle here, wrapped in an enigma. Number A, it says, is 4,676. Okay. Number B is 10,043 greater than A. Number C is 2,610 less than B. Question then is, what's the total value of numbers A, B, and C? Okay, so don't get too hung up on the details just yet. We know that we're given A outright. We could tell we have to figure out B, figure out C, and then do a grand total. So we see we have 3 things we have to figure out here. We have to figure out number B, number C, and then a grand total for A, B, and C. All right, so let's get the tape rolling. Roll out the tape diagrams. A is, I believe, for sure our smallest number here, 4,676. That was the easy one. They gave us that. B now is 10,000 greater, 10,043 greater than A. So B, I'm going to draw it first to help you see that. The same size as A, right? And then say, okay, well, 10,000 more is going to be a whole lot more. I don't want to take up my whole homework space here, so I'm just going to do it like that. It should probably be longer to be more proportionate. And how much greater is it? It is 10,043 greater than A. And while we're here, let's just take a moment. We know the value of this portion, right? It's the same as A. So if you take A and then add how much greater B is, you'll get the total of B. Now C, yes, C runs shy of B. Notice that C is being compared to B. So C is going to be 2,610 less. So here we go. Now we don't know the value for C at all. I don't know what to put in here yet. I really don't. But I do know this space, this blank space here. There's a blank space, baby. That space, I know how much less it is than B. It is 2,610 less. Okay, and if you want, you can draw a little dotted line going down here. So we see that these align quite nicely. Okay, so I obviously have to figure out B first, because without that, I can't figure out C. So let's do that. Let's figure out B. That's some simple addition. As I've mentioned, I like to put the larger number on the top. 10,043. Oh my gosh, sorry about that 3 and that 0. Wow, oh, that's horrible. Okay, hold on. I'm going back. Okay, do that again. All right. There we go, much better. See, take your time, do it right. And so, in that way, to figure out B, we take the value for A here, 4,676, and add it to how much more B is, and we will get the total value for B. Okay, so easy addition here. 3 and 6 are, got it, 9. 4 and 7, 11. 1 and 0 and 6, 7. 0 plus 4, indeed, is 4. Drop that comma. 1 and nothing is 1. So the value of B, and I have just enough room I left here to make a little brace, is 14,719. Now C is going to be 2,610 less than that. So if I take the value for B, 14,719, and if I subtract how much smaller C is, which I'm given at 2,610, that will give me the value for C. And you see how the tape diagram makes it clear? Here you're putting two tapes together, we're adding. Here, this one's this much shorter, we need to subtract. So let's do that. 9 minus 0, yeah, leaves 9. 1 minus 1, 0. 7 minus 6, 1. 4 minus 2, 2. Drop that comma. And 1 take away nothing. Holy Toledo, I can't believe it. There was no regrouping there. What's going on? So now we have a value for C, 12,109. And just glancing, by the way, at the raw truncated 10,000s, it makes sense. 4,000 and 10,000 is 14,000 minus 2,000 is going to be about 12,000. 14 minus 2 is 12. You see? You can do a quick estimate that way. Now we have all our values, don't we? But we need to put them all together. So all we've done so far is figure out, we're given A, so we figured out B and C. Now we need to put all three of them together. And as I've mentioned, I like to put the largest number at the top, which is B, 14,719. And I will add to that the value we just figured for C, 12,109. And the value we're given for A, 4,676. If I total these all up, it will give me the total value of numbers A, B, and C, because that will draw the big mama monster bracket here, the Godzilla of brackets. That's what we're trying to find. We'll call it T for total. That's what we're really trying to find here. So let's find it. Again, look for patterns as we add in columns. Okay, 9 and 9 we know are doubles. 18, 6 more than 18. Got it? 24. So we write the 4 there. And please note, it is a 2 we are regrouping because the number is 24. It's another common 4th grade mistake, is to just always put a 1 up there, because that is commonly, but when you're adding multiple numbers, it can be more. 2 and 1 make 3, and 7, 3 and 7 we know, that's one of our make 10 facts. We know what makes 10. And we'll regroup the 1 of the 10. So now we have 1 and 7 are 8. 1 more is 9. 9 and 6. 15, good. Write down that 5. Regroup the 1. And if you look at 4, 4, and 2 and see a 10, you're seeing things right, because that's 8 and 2 make 10. 1 more is 11. Place the 1, regroup the 1. Drop that comma. 1, 1, and 1. All right. 3, and again with a quick mental estimate, this would round to 5,000, 15,000, that makes 20,000, another 12,000 would be 32,000, and sure enough this number does round to 32,000. So all we need is a simple statement here, the total of our happy little family of numbers A, B, and C is, got it, 31,504. All right. Well, the nice thing about these homeworks here is that there are only 3 examples. So we just have one more to do here on lesson 18. Let's go and solve that puzzle. Well, this here, number 3, I think is the single trickiest question we've done so far this year. Let's take a look. You can do it though, trust me. A store sold a total of 21,650 balls. It sold 11,795 baseballs. It sold 4,150 fewer basketballs than baseballs. There's the comparison. The rest of the balls sold were footballs. How many footballs did the store sell? Okay, now, there's just one little thing that makes this tricky, is that your temptation might be right off to draw a tape for this grand total that they sold. Hold off on that. So let's start off with the 3 types we're dealing with here. So we have base, and that is, we're given that value straight out, right? There we go. 11,795. Okay. We're also told the number of basketballs, but it's compared to the number of baseballs. So, all right, bask. Why? Because I can. What are you going to do about it, huh? All right. And so that, we don't know what will go in there just yet, but we do know this. We do know the difference between them. And we saw one like this in the last one we did with the 3 numbers, is 4,150. So we're going to have to calculate the number of basketballs. And then when it comes to footballs, we don't know anything, just that the rest of them were footballs. So I'm going to hold off on drawing that tape just yet, because I really don't know how long to make it just yet, do I? All right, so Now this 21,650, that's the big bracket. That's the tricky part in this question, okay? I'm going to draw a little dotted line here while I'm thinking of it so you could see, like, yeah, those are the same. All right, so that is the whole thing here. After we draw on footballs, that's the whole thing. So that goes on a bracket, not on a tape, because that collects it all together. Now we can find the number of footballs if we put baseball and basketball together and then subtract that from the total number of balls. That will give us what we're missing here. That's why I didn't even draw a tape. So the first thing we need to find, we know we need to find footballs, but we need to find this here, okay? I don't know, do I have to give this a name? Let's call it X. How's that? Great, it's X. So we have to solve for X to start with. Well, so we need the basketball total. So we know if we take the number of baseballs sold, 11,795, and subtract from that the number, the difference between baseballs and basketballs, the 4,150. So we're taking this and subtracting this. It will give us this part, the basketballs there. So let's do that. So 5 minus 0 is 5. 9 minus 5 is 4. 7 minus 1, 6. And you could regroup here, or you could just look at this because we're at the end of the line as 11 minus 4 is 7. And drop that comma. So now we know the total number of basketballs is 7,645. Now, in order to subtract baseballs and basketballs from the grand total to find out the number of footballs, we need to put together baseballs and basketballs, right? So let us do that. So if we take the number of baseballs, again, 11,295, and add to that what we just calculated, the number of basketballs, 7,645, that will give us baseballs and basketballs together. So now we are adding. So 5 plus 5 we know, that's even 10, yep. 1 and 9 make 10, and 4 more is 14. Group that 1, 1 and 2 and 6. Make 9, good. Another little shorty cut you can take here, say 11 and 7 are 18, or we can do the two columns separately. 1 and 7 make 8. Drop that comma, and 1 and nothing make 1. So this is baseballs and basketballs together. This is our X, in fact. I can write X equals here on the side. Now if we subtract baseballs and basketballs from the grand total, that'll give us the remaining sales, which was footballs. So if we take the grand total, 21,650, and subtract out baseballs and basketballs, 18,940, that will give us the number of footballs. And you see why I didn't draw the tape. It's going to be pretty small. Just looking at 21 minus 18 is 3, right? Gives us a sense. This is going to be the smallest one. Sorry, football. All right. 0 minus 0 is 0. 5 minus 4, 1. Now we cannot take 9 from 6 with that little decomposition action. We will take this 1,000, leaving 0 thousands. Bring it over here as 10 tens, with the 6 tens already present. Gives us hundreds rather, sorry. So it gives us 16 hundreds minus 9 hundreds is 7 hundreds. Good. And again, we could look at this two ways. We could look at this as 20 minus 18 is 2, but I'll break it down for you. With that 0, we can't subtract 8 from it. So the 2, we will leave 1 10,000. bring it over here as 10,000s with the 0,000s already present. 10 minus 8 is 2. Drop that comma. 1 minus 1 is 0, and we don't write zeros out there. And you see it does round to 3,000, which was our quick little estimate there. So for footballs, we're going to make a tape only big enough to write a number in, which is 2,710. And so our question is, how many footballs did the store sell? Well, now we can answer that. The store sold 2,710 footballs. And well, speaking of footballs, baseballs, and basketballs, hey, maybe now would be a good time for you to go engage in some sportsmanlike conduct, because homework time is over. Until the next time it's homework time. See you at that time, the next homework time.